In true crime, there are cases we talk about openly. Murders, disappearances, trials that play out in public view. And then there are cases that don't make the news. No headlines, no documentaries, no official records that the public can access. Not because they're unsolved, but because someone decided they should never be known. What you're about to hear is based on fragmented documents, secondary testimony, and records that appear briefly before vanishing again. Names are missing, dates conflict, and the official trail ends abruptly. This is one of those cases. In late 1997, a temporary records clerk, whose name does not appear on any public roster, was working a night shift at a regional government archive. This facility didn't house classified material. At least, it wasn't supposed to. It stored outdated reports, closed investigations, and administrative files no longer considered important enough for secure storage. The kind of place where forgotten paperwork goes to disappear quietly. That night, while reorganizing mislabeled boxes, the clerk found a thin manila folder wedged behind a filing cabinet. No barcode, no reference number, no digital entry in the system, just a faint red stamp on the cover, Incident, CLOSED. That alone was unusual, but when the clerk opened the folder, something immediately stood out. The formatting was inconsistent. Some pages looked official, others appeared photocopied multiple times. Handwritten notes were scattered between typed reports, and the date listed on the first page predated the existence of the agency named in the header by 3 years. The incident report referenced a location, but not in the way most reports do. There were no coordinates, no street names, no county or state listed, only a vague description, greater than, rural area, population estimated under 300. Limited infrastructure, no permanent media presence. Investigators reading this years later would note how carefully non-specific it was. Almost intentionally so. The report claimed the incident occurred shortly after midnight. Without warning, power failed across the entire area. Not just residential power, backup generators reportedly failed as well. Landlines stopped working, radio signals dropped, emergency frequencies went silent. One line in the report stood out, greater than, failure was simultaneous. No cascading delay observed. That detail matters, because simultaneous failure suggests coordination, or an external factor affecting everything at once. According to witness summaries included in the file, residents described hearing a sound shortly after the outage. Not loud, not explosive, but constant, a low-frequency hum. Some compared it to distant machinery. Others described pressure, more felt than heard. What happened next is where the case becomes unsettling. Witnesses reported people leaving their homes. Not fleeing, not panicking, walking calmly into the night. One summary reads, greater than, subjects exited residences voluntarily. No visible distress. Another says, greater than, multiple individuals observed standing outdoors, facing the same direction. Facing what direction? The report doesn't say, and that omission is never addressed. There were 6 witness summaries in the file. Not full interviews, no audio transcripts, just brief, sanitized descriptions. One witness claimed they tried to stop a neighbor from leaving. They placed a hand on the person's shoulder. The neighbor gently removed the hand. Didn't speak, didn't react, just continued walking. The witness said their eyes were open, but unfocused, as if they were looking through everything. That witness's statement ends mid-paragraph. The next page is blank. No explanation, no continuation. Labeled, persons involved, there should have been a list. Names, ages, addresses. Instead, the lines were empty. Not redacted, not blacked out, empty, as if no data had ever been entered. At the bottom of the page, someone had handwritten a note, greater than, identification unnecessary. Matter resolved. Resolved how? The report never explains. No arrests, no fatalities listed, no relocation records, nothing. The final item in the folder was a small cassette tape sealed in plastic. No label, no date. Years later, the clerk would describe playing it once. The tape runs just over 4 minutes. For the first 2 minutes, there's nothing but ambient noise. Wind, possibly, then 2 voices. One says, greater than, they're still standing there. A second voice responds, greater than, then we're too late. The tape ends abruptly. No context, no explanation. When the clerk attempted to log the file into the archive system, the terminal locked automatically. An error code appeared. Within an hour, supervisors arrived. They didn't review the contents. They didn't ask questions. They removed the folder and the tape. The clerk was instructed not to discuss what they'd found. 3 weeks later, their contract was terminated. No reason given. Researchers later attempted to verify the incident. They searched missing persons databases. Nothing. Power outage records. No match. Census data. One rural area showed a sudden population drop. No deaths recorded. No relocation permits. No disaster declaration. The following year, that location vanished from public records entirely. If nothing happened, why erase the file? If no one was affected, why remove the names? And if the incident was truly resolved, why does no agency claim responsibility for closing it? Some stories are forgotten by accident. Others are buried on purpose. This was one of the ones not meant to be known. This story leads next. You can subscribe. Part 2 continues from here.